going to load bank this generator. On this generator, you've got two breakers, and you got different voltages. So right now it's set on the selector switch over here on the side. This generator is set to 3-phase 480. See where the little notch is on the 480 side? It's also selectable to 208 120 3-phase or 240 3-phase or single phase 240. So it's got 4 different positions, this particular unit. Now on the back of the generator where the outlets are, you have on this side, on that sign right there where it says in 3-phase 120 240 or in, okay, line 2 is high leg. So on line 1, 2, 3, neutral ground, that's all when it's selected to 3-phase 240. You use those in that case. In this case, since the machine is already selected on 480, these lines are the ones that apply to 480 voltage, line 1, 2, and 3. Similarly, on this lower level, you got 2 sets of lines, okay? You can lug to these lines, and you can lug to these lines. These are 480 lines, and these are 240 3-phase lines. So right now, since the machine is in 480, and we're gonna test it in 480, we need to move these line legs to the 480 line legs. So Nigel will do that now. In this particular machine, you got 2 circuit breakers. If the machine is set for one single phase 240, 3-phase 208, or 3-phase 240, this is the breaker that applies to that voltage. If the machine is selected switch to 480, this is the breaker that has to be initiated. You can't run both voltages at the same time. You got to pick either one. Now this machine is a 200 kW machine. You can see that right here on the breaker. It says SC200, right? Okay, and it also says right here, so it tells you that it's a 200 kW machine. So that's where we know that. Okay, so are all those lines connected?
Yeah.
Okay, so just verify that that green line goes all the way to the ground on the load bank. Okay, now Nigel is going to start up the generator and then start up the load bank. So,
turn the controller on.
gotta let it warm up or boot up. So the controller is booting up. Takes a few minutes. It says reading data, 5 seconds countdown. So we don't want to start it yet until it's fully booted up. Okay. All right. So go ahead and hit start. So we got our voltage going up to 479, 480. There's no amperage reading because there's no load on the generator yet. We got good oil pressure, RPM, temperature, battery, everything looking good. Okay, now let's go over to the load bank. Okay, now here we're going to the screen for the load bank. Press the power button on. Then we go to the touch screen. Okay, setup. It says setup. Now we're going to select the generator size. What size is this? Okay. Okay. Now voltage is 480, 3-phase. Good. Now click OK. A little lower. There you go. Now exit out of that. Now we're going to turn on the fan. Try turning on the fan again. Okay. Then we're going to select this load. 25. So we've got 65 amps across all three legs, right? Showing us at this voltage, we have this amperage, right? 65. Now, the generator, showing us 62 amps on the generator, 64 amps. So it's reading about similar. That's a good thing. Now, when we load bank the generators, we're going to be using the size of cable that is big enough for the power that's going to be produced by the generator. So usually that's going to be 4-aught cable or a larger cable. I'll show you the difference between the sizes of the cable, so that way you don't use too small of cables. So here's an example of number 2 cables. So these are smaller, they're number 2 cables, and they're rated for a certain voltage. Here's an example of a larger number 4 cable. So you can see one is thicker, one is thinner. So they're more power, they can handle more power. The thicker ones can handle more power than the thinner ones. The thicker ones are rated for 2,000 volts. And the thinner ones are rated for 400 volts. So we want to make sure to use the larger number 4-aught cables when we're doing load bank. Okay, so now Nigel is going to turn up the load on the generator to 50%. Go ahead. There you go. Now the generator is going to put a load 50% up to 100 kilowatts and roughly 20 amps. So now we can test. Right here, 120 amps. So we're at 124, coming out of line 3. 113, line 2. 113, line 1. So while we're load banking the generator, some of the things that we need to look for are, is the machine overheating? Are there any signs of hoses leaking or air hoses leaking inside the engine compartment? We need to be watching the machine, make sure that everything's working properly. So here, we're at temperature 178, it's pretty normal, around 180. Oil levels, oil pressure. And then we want to look inside the engine, make sure everything's looking normal.